Good morning, traders. Happy Monday, and welcome back to the Trader Bacon Show. I'm your host, Gates Adams, and I am super excited today. Today marks episode number 99. One more week till the 100th episode of the Trader Bacon Show. I know I can't believe it. It's certainly an exciting milestone for us over here, and hopefully you've had an opportunity to catch quite a few of those. If not, you can always check those out on Benzinga's YouTube channel. Just search YouTube for the Trader Bacon Show, and you'll see a whole bunch of me on there with a lot of really cool episodes on there. But we've got a great episode for you guys today. First and foremost, want to take care of a little bit of business. We have some. We are going to be giving away three evaluations as usual today with Apex Trader Funding. So we'll get that link here in the chat in just a moment. Make sure to fill out that form before the end of the show so you have a shot at winning one of those. We, of course, have three winners from last week, and I'm going to do my best on these. But winners from last week are Ken, Rico, I'm not sure, and Equaner. I'm so sorry. I apologize. You guys see them on the screen there. I did my best. I don't know how bad that was, but hopefully not terrible. But the good side, of course, is that you guys have some Apex Trader Funding evaluations in the pocket that you get to start progressing with. Of course, right now, I want to let you guys know we've got 3 days left on the 80% off with Apex Trader Funding. So make sure to go to apextraderfunding.com. Use promo code Benzinga. That gets you 80% off for just a couple more days. So make sure to take full advantage of that. As well. No new news on the Forge Trader front. I've got a couple of projects that I'm working on, and I haven't done a Forge Trader podcast episode in a few weeks. I feel terrible about that, but I'm hoping to get another one up this week. But bear with me. If you want news on everything that's happening Forge Trader, just go to theforgetrader.com/join. And I will keep you up to date on all of that. But let's talk about today's show. Today's going to be a fun show as we gear up for show 100. We don't want to let things slip just because it's show 99. So I've got a great guest for you guys today. Colton is an experienced and successful trader beyond the world of day trading and funded trading. He's also got some skill and some expertise beyond that, which hopefully will be insightful and helpful for you guys as we talk about trading on today's episode of the Trader Bacon Show. Welcome to the Trader Bacon Show, where we showcase everyday traders that are getting funded, paid, and bringing home the bacon. Are you ready? Because the Trader Bacon Show starts right now. Colton, good morning, man. How's it going?
Hey, Gates. Good. How are you?
Excellent, man. Great to have you on the show. Appreciate you taking some time and sharing some insights with us today. So first and foremost, let's get a little bit of a gauge of kind of where you are in your trading journey. I know the journey of trading is a never-ending journey. So like there's no arrival, but there certainly is a level of progression. Now, at this point, how long have you actually been trading?
Yeah. No, I'll keep it short and sweet so we can get into the charts. But I'm a COVID trader. I started trading in COVID when I got sent home from school and had nothing better to do than watch YouTube, I guess. So I started trading. I think I started actually putting trades on and halfway through 2020, kind of the summer of 2020. So is that 5 years now?
Yeah.
On and off. Yeah. And the first couple of years were on and off. It wasn't consistently trading. It was working for a bit and then trading for a month and then going back and forth a little bit, but
pretty typical for sure.
Yeah, full time though, about 2 years, I guess, probably.
Now you've taken your trading journey beyond being a funded day trader. At this point, you trade much more extensively, I guess you would say, than what a lot of us that watch the show, host the show, are really doing. To what extent are you actually trading in your world at this point?
Yeah, I do. One part of my trading is day trading. That's what I started doing with just trading futures, just scalping futures. And then the other part is right now my day job is I do risk management for a company, just some ag related markets. So I'm in the markets every day doing a bunch of hedging, trying to anyways. And yeah, kind of split it right down the middle right now between hedging and speculative day trading, I guess you could call it.
Now, did your journey as a day trader move you into the world of being an analyst, or were they just completely separate paths?
No, they were totally separate. I got into my day job just kind of word of mouth.
Yeah.
Nobody even knew I was trading when I got in there, and then just kind of, I don't know, kind of just ended up falling into the risk side of things. So, no, it's been good, but majority of my stuff all comes from the day trading side of things anyways. Same sort of strategies, same sort of chart patterns. All of it's based on the same sort of stuff anyways.
Okay, so I was going to ask you, have you found that one role has helped you with the other back and forth?
Yeah, the main thing that helped me with most of it was at the start when I was figuring things out.
Mhm.
Probably like everybody else, you do it in the mornings and kind of leave it. But as soon as I kind of started working in the markets full time,
Mhm.
kind of just keeping an eye on things all the time, I guess, helped me kind of just stay with the markets anyways,
Yeah.
for a bit more of a clear understanding at all times versus being blinded by indicators and not really seeing a great big picture, where I think the hedging really opened my eyes up to a little more big picture analysis, a little bit bigger
Right.
picture to help with some short-term moves kind of thing.
Right. Now, obviously, we're a day trading show. When we talk more about the intraday trades, and we'll go ahead and jump into that. Like, we'll go ahead and pull up some charts as we go through this. I'd love for you to just throw in at any point where insight that you get from the bigger picture helps make those decisions for you on those intraday charts. So let's go ahead and pull up the charts here real fast. Let's talk a little bit about what it is that you're looking for as a general rule when you're day trading.
Yeah, so I trade. These are my day trading charts, I guess. I trade on an indicator platform. Just always have. I look at things on a directional basis, I guess. So usually I have my work charts up all the time, kind of just watching, and these charts, they look a little bit different. I got all my markets up that I watch, kind of just get NASDAQ, the S&P, and then the ag market. It's just a battleground currency, and yeah, but I can keep them on this just so it's easier. But I'm a direction-based trader. I would classify it. I don't know. I trade direction, momentum, and all my entries are just based off breakouts.
Okay.
Super simple. It's as simplest as I can make it. So what I'll usually do is trade a lot of trend lines, not necessarily, well, I guess with my entries, but pretty much basing my trend lines just to find a trend anyways, just to direction. Support and resistance and trend lines is what I kind of live off of. So on this, like this is the NASDAQ that we're looking at right now. And my whole strategy is just based off of, let's say today's market right now. We're been trending up since everything crashed in the spring, and we've taken out recent highs. We had everything break out. When was this? A couple weeks ago? A week. That was the first time had any sort of bearish momentum in my mind since kind of this whole zone.
Right.
Yeah, so that's real long term. I just look for trend is up. Like that's all what I'm getting at. Like use my long term trend lines, figure out that the trend is up, and then kind of go down in time frames. Just look for your entries. So I'll mark previous highs, any sort of major support and resistance, any major pivots at any time. And since we had a retest of these highs and then had followed by a breakout right here, this would be something I would be looking long for. And on a day trading side, I'd only aim to be in for a few minutes, but on the longer term swing trading, I still have positions on based off of this. So
Sure.
Yeah, and then as soon as I use time charts for most of my trading, most of my analysis anyways, but these are what my day trading charts look like. They're Ranko bars. They're based off size rather than based off of time. So and then just EMAs. So I'll wait for a setup to happen, whether we're trending, we have a breakout here or here, or I don't know, here, let's say, hypothetically, and then now maybe here. Once the setup's kind of forming, I will kind of flip over from these longer term. They're not longer term, they're only 30-minute, 10-minute charts, but I'll jump into these charts and see something like this where we have momentum up, we're breaking new highs. This will be new highs for the day. If we can break out of this, I would be considering taking longs right around here with the stop below previous pivots. So pretty simple. I don't know.
So that's a great top-down analysis and an opportunity to really just kind of see where your mindset is when it comes to actually triggering an entry. So basically, you're as you mentioned, you're looking for that breakout. So you've determined where that breakout point is based on support, resistance, trend lines. That's pretty much it. And then from that point, you're in.
Yep, that's it.
Do you shoot for a fixed target, or are you targeting based on where price action has been before? Or
kind of neither. I used to be $100 a day, $200 a day kind of price targets, and then kind of realized I was missing out on some opportunity. And I don't know the easiest way to put it. So then I started using pivots where, like, say we jump into a trade, I'll just scroll back a ways, just pick a random day. Like, say we jumped on a trending market. Say we jump into a trade right here at the open. And for a long time, I would use previous pivots to base my targets. So like I would get in along here with the stop below here, and like previous highs, that would be my target. So that would be like ideal, picture perfect setup. Going through all of the Apex accounts, this was the whole strategy. But then I'd find on a day like this, the market just runs. So
there's more opportunity. Yeah,
I've really shifted over from, I don't even have targets. I set entries, set a stop, and I'll scale out based off price or P&L. Like, say the market slows down, we get choppy in this zone. Maybe I'll go scale out of a few contracts or just trail my stop. But that's kind of a give and take. Like, some days I'll take everything off, some days I won't, and some days I'll let them run. And honestly, it depends on watching some of the other markets. If a bunch of the markets are crashing and I'm in longs in another one, I'll just take them off. But if everything's ripping straight up or straight down, I don't know why. It doesn't really have much to do, but at times, if on the futures markets, anyways, like if 15 markets are red there's kind of, if the big markets are down, the smaller markets are going to be down too. So
sure. It's hard to go against what the bigger picture is telling you.
Yeah, no. So
For sure.
it's kind of a feel thing, but yeah, now mostly though, I don't even really set targets. I set, depends on the day trading. If I'm trying to pass accounts or, trying to just, maybe I've had a couple stops in a row, trying to build your confidence back for a couple days. Yeah, I'll just take a quick profit, shut my charts off and be done. And it depends on big picture setup. So, back in a few months ago, when the momentum was still up, but we were running straight into resistance, got choppy, kind of coming into this whole mess.
Sure.
Wasn't as quick to hold positions. I didn't want to hold positions. Wanted to take profit. Wanted to kind of scale out. But once we broke through all this mess and we got a pretty clean break right here, same thing. Markets we're breaking out of highs. We can break through highs with a pretty good technical and have some buying power across a bunch of markets. Yeah, there's no need to close anything. So those are the ones you'd let hold. Even same sort of thing now. Now that we're breaking new highs, I don't know. I don't really look at long-term analysis, price targets, but this is pretty textbook not historical pattern, but break new highs, retest, followed by breakout. There's no reason to sell this thing until, I'm following with lines. Until we break this.
So that was going to be my question. At this point, you're not going to change anything because we're at all-time highs. Your method is your method is your method, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, and that's, I think, where a lot of traders get kind of goosey is, there's, we've all heard look left to trade right and things like that. And when there's no left from where we are, of course, as we sit here and we're just a handful of points away from that all-time high on NASDAQ, it does sort of create a different dynamic. But for you, really, until it breaks that trend line, it's just bye, so to speak.
Yeah, no, if we're trending up and there's a decent sort of, I don't even know what you call it, like this consolidation, pullback, whatever you want to call it, and then followed by a breakout with momentum, I'm getting in because as a breakout trend line guy, trader, whatever you want to call it, took me a long time to get on the momentum side with the market type of trading versus if I was to consider this the other way, we're all-time highs and where are we going to turn around, basically. And I would be looking at shorts because we're at all-time highs and we're bumping resistance and we're bumping into major resistance coming in.
Right.
I would take 17 shorts in this mess, trying to fade it basically because resistance is supposed to hold. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you doing that, you're stepping in front of a freight train. So for how big these markets are and how strong they are, yeah, like if we're trending one way, I am jumping in that side.
Sure. Well, and that's so many traders are like all-time high, I'm in a short, all-time high, I'm in a short. I mean, they're just looking for that reaction. Now that reaction could be 5, 10 points. That reaction could be 100 points. It could be 1,000 points. I mean, we really don't know, right? But the expectation that just because it hits all-time high means reversal, I think that's where you start to see the newer, less experienced traders just think that that's kind of a gimme versus somebody who's lived through and survived several all-time high scenarios and said, well, this doesn't work. As you said, I could have been chopped out 17 times in this scenario where it was just still bullish. So that experience, of course, gives you an opportunity to see more clearly. Do you do a lot of reflection on previous trades in terms of beyond journaling, but like do you take screenshots or videos or anything like that and sort of review what you've done?
Yeah, I used to. I
Yeah.
used to. I had files and files and
Mhm.
files of snippets, and I would find a session. I don't know. Let's say one of these days and put a 5-minute, 10-minute chart up,
Mhm.
screenshot it, or freeze it, and basically draw up every single setup that I thought was a good setup and
Right.
save them in, and had 15 different trade setups and had pictures all over my walls of all these trades, and like kind of went through all of that because I didn't know what I was doing. I learned off YouTube, so I was kind of doing
Well,
everything.
and that's the thing, whether we learn off YouTube or any sort of like training or mentorship, we still probably go back to YouTube for more emotional confirmation of, well, I learned this, so is this right for me?
Mhm.
And the reality is that something like YouTube just has, I mean, there's no filter. I mean, you can have so much contradicting information that ultimately you have to figure out what's going to work right for you, which clearly this is something that you've put some time, energy, and attention into figuring out basically the Colton method, so to speak, if you will.
Yeah,
And at that point, that's where it's working for you. I love seeing the progression. I love talking about kind of the journey that you went through to get here. At this point, what, like prior to trading, I think you said you were a student, right? So you're obviously on the younger age spectrum of traders. But considering where you've gotten to as a successful trader, obviously enough to have you here on the show, what has changed in your life since trading made a bigger impact on your life?
not much, honestly.
Yeah,
Well, not having to go to work every day, I guess.
that's a
Not
nice perk.
well, considering I'm from Alberta, so lots of oil field. Every
Mhm.
job I had before I was in the markets was a labor intensive
Yeah,
job. So it was nice not having to, leave at 5 and be home at 6 kind of
right.
thing.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know, not much. The reason I got drawn into it was there's no cap. Like
Yeah.
I was out of school or out of high school.
Mhm.
I was one of those kids who didn't know what he wanted to do, kind of thing.
Mhm.
So, but also, like, what I liked about it was like, you go to school and you get a degree, and you're gonna go to a bank or go
Mhm.
work anywhere to
Sure.
well respected, any sort of job. Salaries are capped. There always are, which you're always working for someone else. Salaries are capped, and maybe that's the wrong way to look at it. But I thought with the markets that there was no cap. There's more risk, but I also looked at it as well. I'm 20, so who cares? Like, I don't know. I'll try it for a bit, and if not, I'll go back to work. But
Well,
so
and there is certainly a value in knowing what your risk tolerance is based on your life circumstances. Somebody my
yeah,
age with grown kids, different span of life. I have to know that my family's finances are safe. So that sort of dictates the direction that I would go if I was starting fresh today as a brand
yeah,
new trader,
no,
right?
for sure.
So there's just a level of responsibility that comes with that. But of course, you mentioned, yeah, there's definitely more risk, but there's no cap to the upside as you continue to grow and develop as a trader, as an analyst, looking at short term, long term, and building who and what you are as a trader. I mean, do you have any specific goals that you're like attempting to reach before you make any sort of shifts or transitions in your life?
No, I not any that I can think of. I used to have a bunch, but honestly, the whole where I got now, or like I had no idea I was gonna stumble into this basically, and a long time ago, and then knew that it was gonna turn into a living basically. So
Right.
I just I don't know. I don't really, never really set goals. Just kind of see what happens, see where
Okay.
things will go. But I would like to just obviously, like financially, you want to be taken care of, and financially want to, reach a level where you're happy with, I guess. But
Mhm.
other than that, nothing too crazy, no, nothing too
Now
major,
you're on
anyways.
the verge of making a transition with Apex, right? At this point, you've reached a level where they've reached out to you and they want to have that conversation about live.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. I've been with Apex since, I don't know, a couple of years now, I think, and probably like everybody else, struggled through the evals and um, got through the paid accounts. So yeah, as of now, I'm got paid out my 6 payouts, and I'm supposed to be going into a live account sometime.
That's
But
awesome. So now for you, it's not necessarily as big as a transition as it might be for most people, because as we know, you swing trade, which means that you are trading your own funds that are not within the world of funded. At this point for you, what keeps you in the world of funded as a live trader as being this next step for you?
yeah, so instead of being, could have got paid out, the payout should have been a big one, which would have been
Mhm.
nice. I'm sure a lot of traders out there, like, I don't have any, well, I don't have, like, around where I live and where I'm from and my
Mhm.
buddies, I don't have anybody who really understands what I'm doing, kind of thing,
Mhm.
which isn't
Yeah.
it's not a big deal, but I'd like to stay with the funded group, just to kind of get in touch with some of these other guys who are, I don't know, maybe live traders or who are having some success, and I'd like to stay in touch with things, just to
For
kind of
sure.
get my name out and get I don't know, little
Yeah.
group. Or get talking to some guys who are trading well. So that's why I'm staying with the funded guys, just to kind of stay a
Community
part
is
of it.
definitely an important part of the world of trading. It can be very, very lonely, which I talk about frequently. So having that community, particularly a community of people who are in a similar situation to you, I really feel like makes it a little easier to not just feel so isolated. And I think that's a big component that some traders forget, or maybe they don't learn until later on. Now, at this point, you actually share your trading online, right? You've got a Discord that you trade on,
Yeah, it's not much. It's nothing crazy. Honestly,
right?
it's just basically for myself. I got sick
Sure.
of saving trades and files, and got sick of taking snippets and having to look through
So
50
so this
files.
yeah, this sort of becomes your record of your trading without having to you have an external hard drive to save your videos, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. So I honestly am not very active on it.
Mhm.
At times I am, but
Mhm.
I have a basically trade breakdown section
Yeah.
where I got 2 trades that I
Mhm.
look at. And like at the start when I built this Discord thing, it was basically set up to be on one monitor, and I was not taking a trade unless it
Mhm.
fit the categories.
Sure.
And then yeah, so I put it in, started posting my stuff just to save them for myself, and that's it. It might turn into something where I might get some people trading with me or something one day, but as of now, I'd like it to be that sometime, but
Yeah. So I guess for the moment, it is a public Discord server. So you guys have that Discord link in the chat. So if you want to check out what Colton is doing in real time, watch him as he, whenever he's in and out of there. Obviously, no commitments to a daily thing. But if you're curious about what he's doing, you can go in and see some of his historical and his current live trading. Make sure to check that out. If what he has shared resonates with you, I love the level of simplicity. It takes out a lot of the overthinking, a lot of the, second guessing and over analysis. And clearly, it's at a point where it's working really well for him. So check that out. That could be a great resource for new traders trying to figure out where they're going to go. Of course, make sure to go ahead and fill out that form. We will be giving away 3 evaluations before the end of from live viewers of the show. So make sure to fill that out. And I got to say, Kevin, thank you for showing up. I'm so glad you did, because this gives me an opportunity to share. Next week for the 100th episode, I am having Kevin back on the show. Kevin is, first and foremost, my first trading coach, the guy that gave me the foundation that has allowed me to progress as a trader. I think one of the greatest traders I've ever had a chance to work with. Also has become a great friend of mine. Kevin, love you, brother. It's great to see you in the chat. Also host of Futures Fever on Wednesdays. We're going to go ahead and leave the timetable as a question mark. He can fill us in on that, because I think that there's some changes in the pipeline. So we'll check that out. But you can also check him out at Trading with Kev. Get a chance to look at what he's been doing online, because he's going to be sharing some great insights with us next week as a great celebration for the 100th episode. And again, this is the guy that got me over the biggest hurdle I've ever had with trading and got me into being a profitable funded trader. So Kevin, I can't wait to get you back on the show next week. Colton, thank you so much for sharing some of your time and some of your insight with us. I wish you continued growth and success in your trading. Guys, go check him out on Discord, see what he's got going on, and we'll be back next week with the 100th episode of the Trader Bacon Show. Thanks for joining the Trader Bacon Show, where we showcase everyday traders that are getting funded, paid, and bringing home the bacon. Make sure to join us next time, Mondays at 11 a.m. Eastern.